thanks very much for joining us on this series, which all of you have been closely watching and following. Smart Advice, where all your key concerns are getting resolved by experts with simple, straight and implementable advice when it comes to buying or selling property. Unique questions with very unique answers on how to get out of a problem or a situation which is not stacked in your favor when dealing in property. Let me introduce my panel today. Samarjeet Singh, MD India Home. Samar, thanks very much. We also have with us property expert Vinay Singh from our Mumbai studio. Vinay, thanks for joining us. All right, we've got Colonel Sunil Nautiyal with his question today. Colonel, go ahead. Unique situation, what happened?
Yeah, Manisha, I bought a house in Gurgaon at Sector 111 and this was in July 2011. At the time of transfer of property, this was I bought this property from the secondary market, and at the time of transfer of the property, the builder cleared everything, and there were no dues from the the original lottery side, and the property was transferred in my name.
Okay.
However, in January 2013, I get a letter from them asking me to pay about 86,000 rupees as the the interest amount, which was due before the transfer of the property.
Fine.
Now my question is, I mean, when the clause is very clear in the builder-buyer agreement as to no property can be transferred unless all the dues are cleared by the original lottery, is the builder right in asking me, for interest part on at the period when the property was not in my name?
I would be very surprised that there is any claim that the developer can make after having transferred the property.
So there's absolutely clearly no claim that the developer can make. So if we go strictly by the letter of the matter, there is no way that the developer can ask the new owner after they have transferred the property to pay interest for what is due from the previous owner. The very fact of them transferring it in their documents, as well as the fact that they have charged you a transfer fee which has been paid, and you have obviously got documents now showing the property to be in your name. Therefore this issue is absolutely a non-issue. However, there always comes this issue of the builder having leverage because they control the possession and giving you physical possession. So my question would be that because it's a secondary sale, how far are you from possession? Because the only chance of the builder having any leverage or being able to bully or arm twist is only if they have not yet given possession, and they can make this clearing these dues as a condition for giving future possession.
Sir, have you got possession?
No, I haven't got the possession. That in fact takes me to the second question. He was supposed to ask for the third installment at the time of excavation.
Okay.
He has already asked for the third installment in the month of May 2012, but till date he has not started the excavation at all.
Okay, I really think...
Is it right on his part, to ask for the installment when he has not started the work?
Fair enough. Colonel Nautiyal, this is seeming to me like a really fly-by-night operator. A developer at least sticks and adheres to when I come in here, but isn't it that the developer, all good developers are at least sticking to the construction linked payment plan? So if they have said that they will charge you or raise the next installment only after a certain slab has been put, why is he raising it right now? Very, very dubious this whole transaction is seeming to me.
No, the transaction, Manisha, is extremely dubious, but unfortunately there are many developers who do this kind of thing. What they would have definitely is, all kinds of force majeure clauses which would preclude them from any kind of liability in the event of any delay, any lack of material, non-availability of labor, so on and so forth. So this is something that we see quite commonly, that the builder would exercise his rights very easily, but when it comes to his liabilities, then he'll take shelter under some force majeure clause. Now it's quite obvious that he shouldn't have charged this amount of interest, because there is no privity of contract between Colonel here and the builder. It's a secondary sale. Which brings me to my next point. This so-called transfer charges that a builder charges is completely and totally illegal. He has no right absolutely to charge any form of transfer charges. Here is a transaction between two different people. Where does the builder come in? Except perhaps making a note in his records that alright, this now stands in a new person's name, and when he goes ahead and forms a society or something, it is this new person's name whose name should figure in the list of members. This is the only leverage that the builder has actually. But misusing this, almost every second builder you find today is charging some form of transfer charges. And it's reached some really ridiculous proportions. In Mumbai last year, there was one builder who has charged 1700 rupees a square foot on super built up as transfer charges. For what good purpose? He has no right.
Oh, okay. So that's a big, large debate which we need to continue. But for Colonel Nautiyal, what's the way out right now? I mean, he's not got possession. Excavation is not happening. The builders raised a demand, and if he now tries to sell it also, the developer will probably not even allow him to sell and transfer the property in a third person's name. Though, the warning sounds that I'm hearing is, get out of this property.
I think, Manisha, the first step to do will be that Colonel Nautiyal should check whether the land title clearly belongs to the developer, because sometimes that becomes a problem. It's a joint venture with the landowner, in which case then I would recommend that, even if it involves taking a loss to get out. But if it is found that the property is clearly owned by the developer and the land title is clearly in his name, then there might be some sort of good in trying to hold on, because prices in Gurgaon, especially in this sector, have increased dramatically. And even though you might have bought it in the secondary market from a previous buyer, I think the fact is that you would have made a profit on the rates that you bought it at and the rates currently prevalent. So if you can actually find a way in which you create a paper trail that shows the documentation to support your contentions, so that if the matter was to go legal, it would be very clear that that you are not liable for money that should have been paid in interest by the previous owner. So that will solve that problem. And you are very far away from possession right now, because if you're talking about excavation and possession is a couple of years away, then the leverage that the developer has over you is very limited. If he was to try and cancel your allotment, you have bought it in secondary, so he would not be able to do that. You would get it reinstated by a court right away. He does not have to give you possession for the next 1 or 2 years, so he cannot arm twist you to that level. So if the title is clear and the developer owns the land, and therefore you have got this flat transferred to your name, then you have a part of that title belonging to you. You should hold and make sure that the developer is not able to bully or arm twist by creating a document trail that supports you, that if the matter was to become a court matter or turn legal.
But I think, Vinay, this is, until unless the developer takes back that crazy demand, I think a legal notice should be served, or legal way is the only way out, isn't it?
That's a call now that Colonel will have to take, and one thing he could do, that if he wants to take advantage of the appreciation as is probably the case here, what he could do is he could make this payment under protest and record that he is making the payment to buy peace, but at the same time he does not believe that he is liable to make this payment. So this would help him, that maybe post possession, if he still wants to fight it out, he can take it to court and it would be recorded that he did make this payment under protest. So now that's a choice, whether he wants to send a legal notice now and fight it out, or whether he wants to fight it maybe at some future date.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Colonel, I hope you're hearing closely to what the advice has been. It is a very unfair situation and absolutely illegal is what both our experts are saying. But let's also understand just a little bit more, Samar, when Vinay has said that it's absolutely incorrect for a developer who's actually only opening his transaction book and writing down the name of the new owners and just filing papers. How can the cost of transferring that property be as high as what Vinay just spelled out, 1700 rupees per square feet? People should be buying a house at that price in some parts of the country.
So, you're absolutely right. There's all kinds of, costs that are passed on to customers as a way to reduce the headline cost, which means while they will charge you only a certain amount per square foot, but all these hidden charges, we discussed them before previously as well, all adds up, and including transfer fees is a big component. Now, you'll find that the transfer fees, however, sometimes end up being negotiable. So if you end up, exerting a little pressure, sometimes they give a part waiver or they give a discount. But I absolutely agree with you. However, it is very important for customers right at the start to understand when they're making an investment, if they were to transfer this investment out and if they were to sell the property, what is the transfer charges that would accrue? Because irrespective of whether they are doing it, they are paying the charges or the new buyer is paying the charges, the cost is coming out from the value of the property, no matter who's paying it. So it's very important to understand clearly what these charges are and make sure that you are aware and that you know what you're getting into before you sign up in the first place. So, a little bit of planning and being smart about it at the start can help you, save you from all these nasty surprises.
Vinay, what do you do? I mean, if you don't want to, you're saying transfer charges are absolutely illegal. So how do you go about not paying them?
Well, at least as far as a lot of people in Mumbai are concerned, I give them the same advice that the only hold the builder has is that he might not forward your name at the point of time of forwarding forming a society. If that is going to be the only instance, then let us record it at this particular juncture. Let us write a letter to the registrar of societies and inform him that I have purchased this property, and tomorrow, as and when the society is being formed, it is my name that should figure in the list of members. So at a future date, even if the builder does play a trick, our documentation will be on record and we can approach the registrar and ask him that my name must be substituted for the original name. This is not a difficult thing to do, it's not an expensive thing to do, and I think this will put an end to this really wrong practice that has become all pervasive and it's really become a monster.
It's also actually everybody's accepting it, buyer, seller, they're even negotiating who's going to pick up the transfer charges, transfer fee, whether it's the seller or the buyer. It's so deeply ingrained and now accepted as a norm. In fact, Vinay, you're the first one to highlight that even transfer fees is not at all legal and shouldn't be charged. Thank you very much for joining in today. Samar, thanks very much. Smart Advice is the segment that you're watching just to get clarity on how do you get law to be on your side, how do you make sure that you don't get into tricky situations with the developer, and how do you get out of tricky situations if you are in one. Thank you very much for joining me.